Now TzuChi Earth, our weekly guide to TzuChi's chapters and offices around the world. For our weekly feature today, we take you to South Africa. Dubbed the Rainbow Nation, it's a country with a diverse culture that's working hard for peaceful coexistence after decades of oppressive segregation laws. TzuChi has been serving the neglected and remote corners of society for over 10 years now. Let's take a look at how it all started with a few Taiwanese businessmen with a social conscience.
Sewing machines and fabric ready, the Zulu women dressed in navy and white meet up to create garments that could support their families and then some. Life for them turned a new page more than a decade ago when a group of Taiwanese immigrants set foot on African soil. South Africa, a land of copious natural resources and breathtaking scenery, is burdened by its history of gruesome ethnic oppression. Beginning in the late 1940s, the apartheid, the country's 40 years of official racial segregation, stripped its people of color of the basic rights to education as well as medical and other public services. Under oppressive white rule, the wealth and human rights gap rapidly widened. In the 80s, international economic sanctions against South Africa catapulted the country into financial turmoil. To stimulate the economy, the government offered attractive investment packages for foreigners, which many Taiwanese businessmen responded to. Among them were Huang Dingling and Wu Guorong, the first TzuChi volunteers in South Africa. They wanted to do something for the black majority living in dire poverty.
There were very few charity organizations here, and nothing was being done to help the local people. My brother-in-law, Huang Dingling, used to live here. He wanted me to do something for this land.
On January 26, 1992, Huang and Wu established TzuChi's liaison office in Johannesburg, marking the beginning of TzuChi's charity mission in South Africa. In 1995, the first large-scale TzuChi aid distribution was held throughout the country, as well as in the neighboring Swaziland. 15 containers of clothes donated by the people of Taiwan were given to nearly 20,000 people, a gesture of love from the distant land. The nationwide event sparked interest in many aspiring volunteers, such as Pan Mingshui, who lived in Durban, a glittering city on the east coast, 600 kilometers from Johannesburg. Pan envisioned the future for the disadvantaged populations through practical means by implementing skill training projects in the black townships and rural areas. To him, self-sufficiency is a golden ticket out of perennial poverty.
The house behind me is one of Durban's first 3 skill training centers and the beginning of TzuChi's mission in Durban. We showed the women how to support themselves with their own 2 hands to improve their lives.
The skill training centers were in fact sewing groups sponsored by TzuChi, providing tools and materials for Zulu women to sew and sell garments. To reach more rural communities, Pan teamed up with Gladys and Gemma, a TzuChi aid recipient who could speak both Zulu and English.
No government comes to people, only TzuChi Foundation. I believe because since everything has been happening to me, the first person who came and gave us love was TzuChi Foundation. He gave us clothes, he gave us food, he gave us a lot of things. So I believe. That's why I stopped hate.
Gladys has been serving as a TzuChi volunteer for more than a decade now and has learned to forgive. As a victim of violence spurred by the segregation law, she used to be full of hatred. Now she is living proof that great love is the ultimate antidote to human antagonism and suffering.
It's amazing, it's hard to explain how can I think, because whenever I think of Brother Michael and TzuChi, I only think of angels. There is heaven. I think they come from heaven. That's what I think, because truly speaking, no one come to the heart of the darkness where our South African people are suffering. I think they come from heaven.
This life-changing experience is poignantly shared by many others. When Doris Swane was 13, she lost her left leg in a road accident and lost her sense of self-worth too. It was not until 1995, when Pan Mingshui came to her village with skill training projects, that she walked out of her cocoon and became an avid promoter of TzuChi.
Doris's sewing skills were passed down from her mother. At the beginning, she had little faith in herself, but we began there, with sewing. When she got better, her confidence was boosted, and she started teaching other disabled people.
True wealth comes not from material luxuries, but a heart steeped in great love. And that is what TzuChi's founder, Master Zheng Yan, devotes her life to, inspiring selfless love and altruism.
I saw that love, great love. That's why. I'm not rich in a body. I'm rich inside my heart and my brain. I'm rich.
Life changed significantly for these powerless.
To take your eyes to your man. May you please give me money to buy salt? And the man said, oh, he's roaring because of his money. No, we are not those moms now. We are so proud for that.
Over 500 sewing groups burgeoned, empowering 14,000 people or so, giving rise to more than 3,000 local volunteers and changing the charity landscape in South Africa. In November 2006, Gladys Ngema became TzuChi's first African commissioner. In 2007 and 2008, 10 others followed in her footsteps, including Doris Swane, leading their communities to care for the sick and poor and forming a powerful grassroots force that has introduced hope into the dark corners of the Rainbow Nation.